Democrats rallying behind Tulsi Gabbard in the 2020 candidates' clash with Hillary Clinton.
I don't know what the basis is for that. And
well, I don't either.
What I consider her to be a competitor. Statements like that ought to be backed by evidence.
Tulsi is not being groomed by anyone. She's her own person.
So Tulsi gets some support there. Well, Democrats finally stopped calling the president a Russian agent is one of the questions. Also talking about Tulsi Gabbard as well. Here now to discuss is Democrat political analyst Kelly Hyman and GOP strategist Ford O'Connell. Hey, guys, thanks for coming on this morning. I want to first listen to what Hillary said on this podcast. Let's listen in.
She's a favorite of the Russians. They have a bunch of sites and bots and other ways of supporting her so far. And that's assuming Jill Stein will give it up, which she might not, because she's also a Russian asset.
Okay, Kelly, my first question is Hillary Clinton alleging that Tulsi Gabbard is working with the Russians, or are they just saying, is she just saying that the Russians are favoring Tulsi Gabbard?
Well, if you listen to everything that she said, basically her position is that Russians interfered in our 2016 election and that they're most likely going to interfere in our 2020 election, and that she doesn't say any specific person on who she thinks that they're potentially grooming, but running a third-party candidate. However, Tulsi has stated that she has no intentions of running as a third-party candidate and that she's going to be a Democrat.
Ford, what's your response to this? When you see this, what do you say?
Well, I say that Hillary Clinton just cannot get over the 2016 election. She's seeing Russians literally everywhere, including in her own party. And it's beyond irresponsible to call Tulsi Gabbard a Russian asset. She's a decorated military vet and a sitting congressman. But what it shows to voters, now that Trump is not the target, it shows you the lengths at which the Democratic establishment will go to destroy a political opponent. To them, it's a game, but it's actually destroying America and our faith in the political system. And shame on them, because essentially Hillary Clinton invented the Russian hoax, and essentially Mueller dismissed it, and she was never held accountable for it, and now she's able to do it to anyone she wants.
Let's listen to Tulsi going back at Hillary Clinton.
They said Clinton will never forget that she and her rich and powerful friends will make sure that you are destroyed. That if you stand up against Hillary and the party power brokers, they will destroy you and discredit your message.
Kelly, respond to Tulsi's response for us.
You know, I think that's a very powerful message.
Yeah.
You know, she is someone that served our country and has fought for our country, and there's no evidence that she is a Russian agent. So we'll have to see what the voters make a determination on who they want as their Democratic candidate.
Ford, I mean, Kelly, this split is ugly for Democrats, isn't it, Ford? I mean, it doesn't make them look good.
No, it doesn't make Democrats look good, and it shows you the sort of split between the Democratic establishment and the more grassroots candidates. Notice the candidates that are defending Tulsi are folks like Yang, Beto, Pete Buttigieg. That's not the Democratic establishment. But what it does show voters is whatever they think about Donald Trump, the Democrats will slime him any way to Sunday to make sure that he doesn't win. It's not about winning on the ideas. It's about crushing your political opponent any way possible, and that should send a terrible message to voters across this country.
Kelly, go ahead.
Well, what about what Trump did? Yeah, well, what about what Trump did with the Ukraine president? I mean, let's look at the transcripts. We want to talk about him trying to get evidence about Biden. I mean, what do you call that?
The transcript basically showed that there was no quid pro quo. There was no discussion of military aid. And when he said, I have a favor for you, that had nothing to do with military aid. And it was not about Biden. It was the Ukrainians that brought up Biden. You want to stick him again. And let me tell you something else about Trump. He's provided more aid to the Ukrainians than Barack Obama, and he's no Russian asset, and Mueller dismissed the whole idea. So keep sliming Trump. He's going to win re-election.
All right. Okay, we're gonna end it there because we've now spun off into Donald Trump land, which I thought would probably happen. Guys, thank you so much for talking about Tulsi and Hillary this morning. We do appreciate it. All right.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks.